Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is the 11th of July 2021. Today's video is the marginalization of Islam, where it originated. Before we start, I actually have a question, a very good question from a person on my channel, and the question says, how the leaders get to be leaders in the, of course, in the Islamic world, because once they are there, they are actually old people. How do they make it? Because mostly they are old people. Well, how did Hitler, Mao, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un in North Korea, how about Maduro in Venezuela, get to be leaders? Some of them by deception, say like, for example, Hitler and Mao, lies and deception until they get to where they want to be, and they get rid of any possible opponent or rival. They kill whoever comes near where they are. They protect themselves. They surround themselves by certain group of people that they trust 100%, and they stay there. And before they die, they appoint somebody else. And if they die suddenly, like for example it happened in the former Soviet Union, a bunch of all the people get into a closed room and they appoint one of them. And it happened until Gorbachev was the leader of the former Soviet Union. He was the exception, relatively young in comparison to the people that they were appointing before that. One of them actually, he stayed a very short time because he was very old and he died. The reason is these people are experienced and they know how to deal with situation. But Gorbachev was relatively young, and that was a surprise. And of course, maybe because of his inexperience or lack of experience, the former Soviet Union collapsed. Anyway, that's how they get to power, and then they stay in power by the barrel of the gun, by force. And if you go against them, you know that what happened in Tiananmen Square in China in 1989. Tens of thousands of people were killed. Why? They wanted to change the system in China. If they feel that there is a threat, millions could die. It doesn't matter. We are here to stay. I hope that answered your questions. Your question. That's how they get and they stay in power. Okay. The marginalization of Islam, where it originated. 4 years ago, I made many videos on my channel predicting. It's not like I'm a prophet, but I'm predicting the destruction of Islam. Let's start. Okay. Would Islam be able to withstand the coming tsunami? Okay, the burial of Islam, leaving the religion of Allah in multitude, because many people at this time it was like a time of exodus, leaving Islam. The bankruptcy of Islam, the havoc of the internet on Islam, the beginning of storming Islam, the fast unravelling of Islam. Signs to be observed. Signs have been observed Um, the official declaration of the Muslim leaders, the bankruptcy of Islam. Uh, I think I put this wrong. The official declaration of war by Muslim leaders. Okay, the end of Islam. The beginning point in Europe, the beginning turning point in Europe, the deception of the Muslim Caliphate, the disintegration of Islamic countries. Islam has passed the expiration date, the extinction of Islam. All these videos I put 4 years ago, feeling, it was a feeling back then, but I feel that because I'm from that region and I follow the news and I can sense what is going on there. The thing is about the big news stations did not make big fuss of teaching music. I mean, it shouldn't be big fuss. A school teaching music, that's fine, that's okay. But when you know that, is like, for example, let's say, in Judaism, one of the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. If you find out that a group of Jews started to claim that we are going to omit this commandment and we will allow killing, that will make a huge impact on the Jewish leaders and Jews in general. Why? Because it goes against what Moses brought them of the commandments. So when Muhammad, the prophet, or the originating point of Islam, says music is prohibited because it's satanic, and the crown prince of Saudi Arabia goes against that, that's a big deal. And it should have been a lot in the news, but it was kind of like a small, marginalized subject. To me, this is a big thing. Why? In one of my videos, after President Sisi took the power from the Muslim Brotherhood and put the former Muslim president in prison, I said that's the end of the Muslim Brotherhood. And the reason is, the Muslim Brotherhood, their leader was an Egyptian. His name was Hassan al-Banna. And he started his movement in Cairo, Egypt. Okay, that was, I believe, 1924, quite a while ago, almost 100 years ago. And this movement grew and spread into North Africa, the Middle East, and now it is even in Europe and in the United States. And it's really violent and deceptive movement. But the fact that their leader, President Morsi, who reached the top stage and couldn't stay there for long, only 1 year, and he collapsed, and with him most of his leaders are now in prison. Most of these Muslim Brotherhood leaders are in prison, and the rest of them, they deny, all of them, that they belong to this movement. Once this happened, I predicted this is the end of the Muslim Brotherhood. Why? They lost their foundation where they originated. That's normal. If you couldn't stand strong where you started, this is the beginning of your end. The same thing. Where did Islam started? It started in the Arabian Peninsula. In the heart of it is Saudi Arabia, Mecca, in Saudi Arabia. And when Muhammad starts there and his foundation grows up there, and he had worldwide influence from there. When somebody has the guts and stands up and says, that's it, you're out of here. We are teaching music. This is going against the Prophet of Allah, the Prophet of Islam. You're going against him. What happened when you go against him? The religious authority should really be mad about this. I give an example about omitting one of the Ten Commandments for the Jews. The Jewish people will be outraged. What about, let's say, for the Christian? Jesus said, love your God, love your neighbor. Let's say somebody comes and say, oh, you know what? We will love God, but let's forget about loving our neighbor. Christian worldwide will be going crazy to fight this. However, here you have somebody who is saying, we'll omit some teaching of Muhammad, and nobody said a thing. It tells me a lot. I spoke about the Crown Prince when he had an interview on TV, and many people actually said he was not clear, oh, it's the same stuff, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I had a different feeling. I said he cannot take a sharp turn. Otherwise, he will take it alone, and he will separate from the people. He has to take one step at the time. So he started vaguely speaking about hadith. Hadith is what Muhammad spoke of. It's not Quran, but his own opinion about certain things. And if you respect Muhammad, then you ought to follow what he says. So some of these narrations is not well supported, so they leave it aside and they say, look, this we're not very sure about this particular area, so we're not going to touch it. Leave it there, but we're not going to use it. So Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince, said, let's forget about these things. And he put it very vague. And he inserted certain words that it can be translated or interpreted in many ways. And that's actually clever. That's very clever. And even before doing that, he, in a way, declaw and defang the religious gangsters. And I call them gangsters because these were few mafia people went to the top, and they were willing to kill and murder and do anything and everything to get to what they want. Power, caliphate. So they have been declining every day, which is good. And I'm sorry, give me a second. I spoke of that in these videos. It's not like I am predicting. I can see what's going on. So the crown prince started this as a beginning, but where is he leading to? He wants to lead his country to safety. He knows quite well that the president of Egypt in, I believe, 2013 or 2014, he spoke to the highest authority in Egypt, the highest Islamic authority in Egypt, which is Al-Azhar University, and the Mufti. The Mufti is, for those who don't know the religious Islamic hierarchy, is like the Pope for the Catholic. And he was suggesting, he cannot tell him what to do because these people have tremendous power. He suggested to him to change the tone, the Islamic tone. Otherwise, it leads to violence. And nothing happened. But when Mohammed bin Salman had that interview on TV, the Crown Prince, because Saudi Arabia is the institute that it supports Al-Azhar University with fund, with money. When the Crown Prince spoke, the Mufti in Egypt, the head, he came out and we support, and they can take any color they want as long as the money keeps coming. So now the Crown Prince said teaching music, and I guarantee 100% that the Al-Azhar University, the Mufti, will come out and will find a way to justify that music is okay. And he will find a way to tell you that Muhammad didn't mean it this, Prophet Muhammad didn't mean it this way, that we shouldn't learn music. But they will find a way. They always do. When the money is about to be taken away, they find a way. Last video I spoke about the person, the man who was subpoenaed to court, who is a Muslim leader, and he came on a wheelchair pretending that he is about to die, he's very ill, and he denied everything he spoke of. It's on video, it's on YouTube, and he denied everything. That means they have no guts. If you really have conviction that what you are talking about is the right thing, you should be willing, especially if it has to do with faith, you should be willing to die. But he denied everything. Later on, another one, but at least this Muslim leader, at least he had the guts to go to the courtroom and deny in person. The other one, who is more influential than him, and he was more talkative than him, he sent a letter that I'm very ill. Now they are all very ill, and I cannot come to court. To show you how these people were deceiving many. Now, it is time to celebrate, because where it originated, where this venom that these destructive ideologies started 1400 years ago, now even political leaders are standing against them. Thank you very much. We hope to hear from you.